Roll call?
Yeah, they cost us about. Commissioner Buckley.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher. Commissioner Cater.
Here.
There's a quorum present.
Okay, as you wish, we're going to stand for the pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all together this morning. Please lead us and guide us in the direction you would like us to go. Help us to make the best decisions for the county as we can, dear Lord. Please keep those that are safe out there in this heat, and just be with those. And I ask you in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Okay, we don't have it on the screen today. We printed one out, so I just kind of read the consent agenda. It'd be approval for the minutes of the June 30th, 26th meeting and approval of the closed minutes June 30th. And an appointment order for Ethan Wadlow, promoted to corporal on the patrol sheriff's department, and the Member Area Drug Task Force pay assistant coordinator to $30.25, and the task force officer to $28.88 an hour.
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, we're moving along here to general business. Approval purchase through Sourcewell, a Kubota excavator, road and bridge. Brian, you wanna tell us about it, or? I think we've got two that are worn out. They're not worn out, but they're starting to kind of work on its parts. And I think in your budget, you were planning on buying this.
It's a budgeted item.
Yeah.
We currently have a 2016 model and a 2019 mini excavator, Kubota. They're getting upwards of 4,000, and the other one I think right at close to 4,900. We've had some recent repairs that we've made to them. Probably a couplers, 2,300. Water pump went through the radiator, had to repair all of it. There's another 3,000. Hydraulic tank 1,000. And another one had some emission stuff, so that's another 1,500. We're just starting to get some hours on them, get some wear. We're going to keep them all. So some of these storms we do have, we can use all three of them to clean up the debris and storms that we've had here recently. They come in handy.
I make a motion, we give approval for the road and bridge purchase through Sourcewell for $85,986.36. I have in there, it's a budgeted item.
I'll second that. Okay, any questions?
I'll just point out, Commissioners, that this was a budget item in the previous budget,
Yes.
and we just carried it over to
Yeah.
this year. So we tried to get as many hours as we could this past year. So.
Well, and then not only that, I think probably profitable wise, keep the older ones. I mean, you're not gonna get a whole lot out of one of the used ones.
No.
So, I mean, we'll just keep them up and use the new one. It'll come in handy, so.
We got enough jobs to do.
Okay,
Keep it busy.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on, approve change order 3 to Capital Paving for $17,334.97 for Berry Road Bridge. Bridget, is this the final?
No.
No.
This actually is already paid.
Yeah,
We
this was
just-
part of that 35,000 pay application.
Right, and for paperwork purposes for the state, we have to approve this so that we can get the proper wording, if I'm not mistaken, because it was something that, it was just a communication on the mix up of that, so.
They
this
have
is
to
actually
zero
already
out all
paid.
their line items, so.
And thank you, Bridget, for working on that.
Okay,
So,
This is a
have a
request from
motion?
the state.
From the state, so I'm, approve a change order number 3 for capital paving for $17,334.97 for Berry Road Bridge.
I'll second that.
And just to clarify, this was not an extra expense. This is just the change order
Yes.
for the payment that was made.
I think, yeah, we've already made the payment.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Okay, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving
Sometimes the state
along.
makes you do that extra.
Okay, permission to bid assessment mailing service, the assessor. Eric, you're on. You're on, buddy.
This is just to ask permission to bid our assessment mailing, printing and mailing. It would be our second notice, our postcards. We usually do a 3-year contract.
Okay, 3 year.
Okay, to have a motion.
I make a motion, we give permission for the assessor to bid out for the assessment mailing services.
I'll second that. Any questions
Well,
for Eric?
Want to make one
Yeah.
point, BOE, Board of
Yes.
Equalization is today.
Yes.
We have annual, people that have requested, go before the board and to change their assessed values. We only had, I think it's 5, 2 of them are our standard Spire. They come to us, we deny it, we send it to the state because they fight as a group, and I've got the other one, but the other 3 are individuals that are requesting the examination of their taxes. That's today, under the assessors.
Okay, well, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I guess moving on, we have any, public comments? Correspondence? Department reports? Sheriff?
Kevin, you got something?
Couple things. One, we had about 50 people vote last week. One thing we did get from the state that went through is we got a $15,000 raise for the prosecutor. It's another unfunded mandate from the state. When I was there, we fought to not do those things because when we're having a 1% increase in our revenue and they give them a 10% raise automatic, they've got a great lobbying group. The sheriff's department's got a great lobbying group, and they just go around the salary commission and say, well, you've got to give these judges this one this much raise, whether you got the money or not. We don't care if you got the money. We're gonna tell you you gotta give them the raise. Now, I like our prosecutor, I like our sheriff, but we can't keep having the state mandate funding that we don't have. But anyway, that's just a
Plus the benefits.
We also-
too.
we
Well,
have
that's a benefit.
five-
So it's about a $20,000 hit.
Right.
We have 5 judges now, too.
Yeah, and they say that we have to produce a courtroom. You know,
Yes.
but I'm waiting for the check to pay for that courtroom, but
Yeah.
it's probably in the mail.
Well, it might be 3 months before we get it then.
Yeah, with our mail.
How much was the increase?
It was $15,000 increase, that's in salary, and then with the pension and other benefits, it's close to 18 to 20. I figured it
No,
out.
it'll be about 22,000 total. And that was House Bill 1825. That was presented and signed by the governor last week.
Yeah.
And they don't have to get reelected to get the raise. I saw in the paperwork, they said that the salary, we've given ourselves raise, that's a lie. The only way the rest of us get a raise, and it only happens every 4 years, is to run and be successful. And then, if you're successful, then you get the raise that was appropriated by the salary commission. But,
Well, the salary commission too, what do you mean? I know we had a meeting. The commissioners are in that meeting, but it's basically your elected officials. Everybody is in that meeting.
and they vote to.
So they vote for it, and then we have to approve what they vote for. So we actually, if they get a raise, it goes on us.
Right,
If
but
you
it
agree
doesn't-
or not, we
Doesn't
have.
go into effect though,
Right.
until the next time.
Right, you have to win an election to get it.
I know, because one of the guys who were complaining about that said, I said, we'd be happy to do the same thing, give you a raise every 4 years, now you have to resign, and then run for your position, and spend, and on average, $20,000 to
Yeah.
run for your position to get that one raise every 4 years, so it's a little different animal, but the state is determined that we're gonna give the other people a raise every year. Whether-
Okay, Sheriff.
All right.
Let us have it. Oh, question.
Just quick question, is this just for the prosecuting attorney, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got a formula in there, if you look at, got a copy of, Senate committee substitute for House Bill 1825.
Okay, so our weekly calls for service have started to go back up again. We're at 396 for the week. That's up 16 over last week. Our calls for service for the year stand at 10,480 as of this morning. Our inmate population has decreased by a couple. We're at 115. That's 97 males and 18 females. I want to give you a little report over the holiday weekend. Our kind of reporting period is July 2nd at 6 p.m. through July 5th at 11:59 p.m. So that's 78-hour time. We were busy. We responded to 239 calls for service during that 78 hours. I'll give you just a couple of the high scoring categories, I guess. 37 traffic stops, 25 disturbances. Of those 25, 5 were domestic violence related. We responded to 17 motor vehicle accidents. 5 of those were serious with injuries. We had 15 check to well-being, 14 abandoned or open 911 calls, 10 suspicious persons or vehicles, 10 road hazards, 10 animal calls, one of those being an animal attack or bite. And then we had some kind of unique things that happened over that time period. We had 3 pursuits. All 3 people were taken into custody. We did have 1 deputy get a hand injury during one of those pursuits. We had 2 missing persons that we assisted with, one of them being an 82-year-old man. He was found. The other one, I don't know about that one. We did have a shots fired call where a dog was killed in Iron Mountain Lake. That person was taken into custody. And we responded to a drowning call at Cedar Lake, and that individual was found safe on the other side of the lake. So,
Can I ask you that? Thank you.
just kind of a lot of kind of unique calls over the weekend, but other than that, it was a pretty good 250th year celebration.
What is the time frame of those calls?
Would have been between July 2nd at 6 p.m. and July 5th at 11:59 p.m. So a 78-hour period.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, very well.
Okay, Road and Bridge, Ryan.
As far as last week, it was a short week for us. We ended up doing some pothole patching on the areas of Best Road, Music, Old Jackson, Smith, Hillsboro, Bismarck Lake, and Possum Hollow. Installed crossroad pipe on Cedar Falls and Best and Rock Creek Road in Hillsboro. We patched them all back with blacktop after they all settled out. Burnt some brush over to the landfill that we had built up. We finished up the concrete at the juvenile detention center for them. Turned out well. We're currently working on the sidewalk for that project. Our prison crew trimmed on Huntsford, Germania North, St. Francis Road, picked up 320 pounds of trash. Our mowers are continuing in the north and south district. The south crew recently came in and maintenance of the tractors are back out. We trimmed some brush along the fairgrounds down there before they had a big race this last weekend. As far as sign work, our St. Francis County stickers, and we've had an issue out on Old Fredericktown and Denman where we had some vandalism of our signs. They've had about 30 signs that somebody's went out and spray painted. We had some graffiti remover we tried to use, worked with a little bit. Some of them, we tried the mineral spirits. When you did mineral spirits, it completely ruined the reflectability of the signs at night. So probably all those signs will have to be replaced. I asked if anybody knows anything about that. If they could, please contact us at 573-454-3104 or the Sheriff's Department. I just talked to Kreitz earlier before the meeting, just briefly about it. Like I said, it's a pretty expensive repair and labor intensive. I estimate it probably cost $3,000 to change these out. It's a lot of money just for some vandalism.
Is that including the signs, Brian?
Yeah, that'd be the signs and the labor to put them all back up. They're pretty pricey when you're having to change each into one individual now. We put our contract overlays out for bid last week. They should be back in due the 14th by Tuesday. We got our, working on our fuel system update. We've got, the gas and diesel tanks are in our north barn. We're doing our electrical portion of it to get it ready for the install of the new fuel system. Mechanics have been worked on our bat wing, got it up and running. had a hydraulic leak on one of our mini excavators. Worked on our oil pot and getting it ready to our paving season. Truck number 50, we've got a transmission service on it and it's ready to go. And that's about it.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Okay, since Brian was mentioning signs, I have been in contact with 911, Phil Horn. We've got a lot of private roads in the county. In order to get the private roads in with the ambulance district, we've got an issue coming where most private roads are gonna have a sign on them. So we're gonna have a meeting on that, on who's gonna pay for it and how we're gonna do it. I can't really explain how that's gonna be done yet, but I did set up a meeting. I was gonna tell Brian down at Perryville, they make their own signs. So I've set up a meeting to go down and maybe look at Perryville's operation. And, you know, I don't know how we're gonna work it out, but I think by state is calling for this to happen, these private roads. And the really big problem is, if you live on a private road, you might live there 25 years and all of a sudden your road name changes. That means your address. So we're really looking at that to see what's the best way, how we can do it. But it's gonna have to be done. So I was just gonna kind of inform everybody, we're looking into that now, and I'll come back later on with some answers or how we're gonna do it. But I really look for that to happen here in the next year. So with that, I think we've run out of meeting. Anybody else? Louis?
Yeah, on Thursday, the governor approved President Trump's declaration for FEMA assistance for St. Francis County. That's for the April 23rd through 28th storms. So
Well, that's great, because I will say this, Brian, we've got a system in place now that we really didn't have before, where we're keeping track when we go out on these storms. And I've never seen, when we get assistance, we couldn't back it up for what we had. So now we've got it in order where Brian and Brandon is keeping track. So we will recover some of that money that we do put out on a storm. And thank them guys
the
for
commission
that.
is applying for this? Then?
Yes.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
already did.
Yeah.
We turned.
So this will be
Yeah.
helpful. So
These guys are on. Thank you, Bridget and Brian. They've been
Yep.
working on that.
They have done a good job on that. So I'm looking to recover some of that funding. Anything else? Anybody?
All
Okay.
right. I make a motion, we adjourn.
All second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.